Okay. Okay, okay. I am now ready to get into the next lesson. Okay. That lesson, it went pretty good, I think. What does SG mean? I actually don't know what this means. Yeah, I think talking about that matchup was a little bit more difficult for me, but okay, I'm calling the next dude now. So.
So,
Hey, what's up?
nothing more. Uh, if I
Sorry, your mic's like a little
gosh.
weird. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Let
perfect.
me bring this up closer. My mic is my webcam as well,
Oh
so
yeah, I had a
is it
webcam on
better?
for a while. Yeah, it's perfect now. It's perfect.
Okay. Let's see. I have this game against Umar. Umarth
Oh,
from
awesome,
NorCal.
Foxmarth.
Yeah.
Great. I've played a good amount of Foxmarth in my time, so I am
See.
super good to talk about this one. Yeah, I was kind of curious. How did your because from my understanding, you entered this tournament after our last lesson. Do you think that the stuff we talked about like helped you at all, or anything, or
Yeah.
do you have any
Let's see.
questions?
I beat two Falcos that were seated above me. But let's see. I don't think I completely implemented the game plan. Like I GTFO'd in the scraps for sure. But
Oh
I
yeah.
think and I think let's see, that was a lot better. But I think I was noticing let's see, I was finding trouble setting up some of the situations, but I still won anyways.
Interesting. Yeah, that you're like really technically proficient, so it is possible. And I don't want to over incentivize you to keep scrapping with Falco. I think it's a bad rabbit hole to go down. But it probably is pretty easy for you sometimes, if like, especially if like maybe you like kind of vaguely implemented what we were talking about, and like you were still like avoiding some of those bad spots. I would imagine sometimes it's still very easy for you to sort of just like out. I don't know. This sounds dumb, but like kind of outskill them and just be like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're gonna do in the scrap. I'm faster than you. I hit harder than you." So that
Mm,
kind of doesn't strike me as super surprising necessarily. I would say. But
mm-hmm.
if we like kind of come away from this VOD, or maybe you'd want to look at some of those spots first in this list, and sort of for you to decide. Um, because if I remember correctly, I think that VOD of you playing Mongoose, which I think is who you're talking about, right?
Let's see, that was one of the people that I played in that at that tournament. And I think they almost beat me game one, but they SD'd, and then the second game I think was also pretty close.
Interesting. So if you also wanted to talk about that, we absolutely could.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Maybe we could also just stick to Foxmark if you wanted to your call.
Let's see, we can do Mongoose first. Let's see.
Okay.
Let me just find the timestamp. The timestamp that I included is the Foxmart.
Yeah.
See, I think I found it. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Here we go.
So 5902. Um,
Oh wait, I'm not screen sharing. I'm sorry. I found it. I found it.
right. 59.
Can you see my screen sharing?
Yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. Okay. So, um, I just kind of want to this is review what we talked about last time, but like I do want to hear now when you're sitting down to play the set. You know what was going through your mind? Like, what did you sort of like? What were you generally thinking sitting down to play this guy?
I didn't have any expectations. I think the one thing that I could remember was trying to GTFO, but also trying to set up space, like trying to play the keep away game. But I think they were able to read me from certain spacings.
Okay, so
Uh,
like
s-
certain spacings, you think like you would just like get randomly. I'm sorry. Could you maybe just reiterate that for me? I think I misunderstood actually.
let's see. I think going into it, let's see. I tried to remind myself of setting up the spacing where I like outside of the dare and nearing them,
Yeah.
and then also like GTFOing out of the scraps, but
Hmm.
I think I do get blown up like the last two stocks.
Okay, interesting. And you don't think you super recall why that happened?
Uh, I think sometimes if I get out of the dare spacing, I always assume that they're gonna go in sometimes when they don't. So I think I get baited that way too.
Okay, great. That gives us a great thing to look at. So let's see this. We'll try and hopefully make this fast so we can get back to the mark. Okay. That's just kind of unlucky happens. Oh, you're sick. Okay. You can I guess you just watch it once. Let me see why you I see. I can already see that, I think, that you're just kind of assuming that he's like gonna stay in or like come back in. Wow. Oh, okay. That was almost sick. Oh, you're doing that was pretty fantastic what you did there, actually. That was really good. Oh, how does this happen? Wow, he played that really well, honestly. You kind of just got to give that to him. That was a good light shield from you. I'm happy to see you implementing that. Your shines out of shield are good, by the way. You
I feel
do
like I don't
the
want to
aerial
over
one.
rely on it though.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I get why you are because you're really good at it. So I would imagine it's difficult if like if you have the one punch not using it sometimes to practice other things can be hard, I think. Oh, okay, this is like the probably the worst thing I've seen from you so far, I think, but I get why you did it. Okay, let me get back. That was crazy. Oh, nice try. Sorry for not saying much. I'm like there's like a you're doing a lot of things really well, so this is gonna be kind of hard to talk about because the things you're doing bad like they're not as simple as they were last time. It's like much more. There's a lot more to say, which I want to think about how to sort of get through it in 20 minutes, so we can just like talk about Foxmarth in like a easy way. Cause like I think you're running into the problem now where like you're sort of doing things really well, but you're not as practiced yet, so like oh my gosh, that was almost insane. So like you're not quite like you're like literally like that sequence like this is what I would see like a top 100 level player do is like this. Like that was like so good from you. That was also so good from you. That was also so good from you. And then we get to
And then
that
he almost
spot where
takes it
you're
here.
then we get to the spot where you're like naring and stuff and it's I think you made this back anyway, to be honest with you. I think. Actually maybe not. I guess that might have just hit you.
Mm.
Maybe. I don't know if like the landing hitbox of that was gonna hit you. Yeah, I guess it would have. Because I think is that out on this frame? Yeah, it is out on this frame. You're Oh no, you were good. So
Mm.
that was like a half SD, honestly, because like you might have just killed him in that next boss. I know I told you not to scrap super hard, but like if you back there, honestly, you might have just killed him, honestly. Okay, so I'm actually very impressed. I thought that you would improve a lot from like thing, but that was actually kind of crazy to watch. I think I think we're gonna operate on only this VOD because I'm afraid we're gonna watch the next one. There's gonna be even more to talk about, which I don't want to chirp about Fox Foul for another hour. I think getting to other matchups is the right idea. So I want to skip this first here. This is just kind of like, sure, he reads you reposition and you missed your dash, so like it happens. You reset out of that spot with that China shield super well. You're not sure. Okay, I do want to say one thing here. This I think is gonna help you a lot. If your reset on the or like your because like, this is not actually a reset. This is you actually playing the spot right where you want to
Hmm.
dash around the dare range. If you did that and it wasn't a dash back that you did, do not play it out because
Okay.
think about it like this. There's a wide range of things in melee you could get good at. Getting good at scrapping out a laser like this is not one of the important ones. What's important is that you're good out of playing the game, playing the situation out of your dash back. So let's not work on things like this because once you're going for stuff like this, there's about like we could spend 20 minutes talking about what you could have done out of the laser reset stand. We talk about why Cody does it. This is actually something I've specifically been studying lately when watching Cody is
Hmm.
he's doing this short hop back laser reset, something that Mango did against Zane at Summit 11. So it's like a pretty like well-known thing I feel like at this point. But rather than talk about that, I would rather get back to the more important stuff, like why are you randomly getting shined? Why are you getting up tilted? Like all of these other things. So I think in the future, think of that reset, that laser as a reset of itself where you're avoiding the situation. And don't try and come back in off of it. But luckily enough, nothing really bad happens to you for it. This was pretty sick from you. I don't know, like you're literally just like the best apparently, because that was like a crazy good downer, up tilt on that downer. That up smash on the shine wake up was pretty good too. That nair was perfect. The double shine out of the nair was also good. That spot's a little like luck based a bit, but I wouldn't hold that against you if you happen to get hit there. Um, do you feel like you struggle in general with shield pressuring Falco, or do you usually feel like you get something started?
If I only do like one or two, then I think I get reversal out of it sometimes.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about this a bit. This is not an area of expertise at all for me. I'm not good at shield pressure specifically, especially not against spacies, but what I like to think when it comes to shield pressuring spacies is I sort of I when I've played super high level players, like people who are literally like top 20 level players, it feels like they always make it so you have to JC grab them. Like you have to grab shield. There's no way around it. Like like I don't know how to explain it. Like there's no way around it. Like they're gonna shield so well and they're gonna pop it so quickly that if it wasn't a grab, then it's like kind of hard to deal with. I think for you, when talking about this sort of spot, 'cause I think this happens multiple times, I do think you tried to just dash back her. I don't know if you agree with that or not. Like, did you try and just like back her away here once you got into this spot? Uh, where? Oh yeah, where you did this fair. I like actually, it's like so subtle that I almost didn't notice. Here? Oh no,
Let's
you
see.
fared out a
Tried to.
shield.
I fared out a shield.
Interesting. Did you do that like intentionally, or were you trying to do something else? Do you know?
Uh, let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure why I wanted to do fair out of shield. I don't think I knew that whether or not it would have been safe like that.
Right. So
Maybe I tried to fair onto the side platform, but actually with that drift, I don't think I would have done that.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So my initial thought was maybe I forgot you popped shield because we were paused in a frame for so long, so that's my bad. I initially thought maybe you were trying to do short hop away backer. Because that's a way to reset in this matchup. But I think for right now for you, because I really want you to hone in on getting good at these sort of macro spots where like you're playing around the laser, I think in this spot, if you're locked in shield and he's locked in shield, honestly I would like you to wave dash away because again, like I
Mm.
really want you to hone in on getting on good at the things we talk. Like I can already see it. Like if you were just hitting your punishes, you're literally like looking better in like a lot of spots than like I am. It felt like in when like trying to sort of approach it in this sort of like formulaic way of like you're avoiding these spots, looking to play the game in these spots. Um, and but the main difference that I was seeing, and this is one of the things that makes me so hopeful, is like your punish game just isn't really up to par yet. It is in some ways, but like there are a lot of punishes still that you're dropping or like aren't as proficient in. Um, and the way that we need to address that is we need less openings like this, less openings where you're late aerialing his shield and then shining him. What we need is we need openings where you're like dashing out of the way and then grabbing him for doing something dumb, or like you're up smashing him out of his laser and then like you're like getting a solid juggle off it. Like you want your big openers, right? Where your big openers, you
Hmm.
want to get really good at getting kills off of them.
For
So
sure.
until I sort of until I'm sort of certain that I'm seeing, but it's not even about being perfect because like I drop punishes all the time. Like everybody, even Moki and Cody, like they drop punishes all the time. It's just I feel like you're like a level or two below the consistency that you would need to like
Do that.
travel out of region and play a good Falco and win. And
Hmm.
that's like kind of that's like one of the goals. Like you want to be able to sit down on their setup with the Falco player, and you want to be able to win no matter who it is. Um, so I think there's going to be, I think looking at the rest of this game, I think we're going to see more spots kind of like that spot where you're scrapping on a shield. And you mentioned this, going into it, you sort of feel like you're still scrapping a lot and not, applying the GTFO method enough. And
Yeah.
I think that you're doing that because like you're good at scrapping already. Like you are like box player good levels of scrapping. Um, which is like really, really impressive to be at, but I'm afraid it's going to deny you the ability to sort of get really solid punishes in all these other spots. And like get really good at these solid punishes in these other spots. And that randomness that you're allowing to be introduced into the game right now, I think it's sort of biting you in the ass a bit right now.
Hmm.
So I want to kind of find these other spots where I'm seeing this sort of randomness happen. And I think one is right here again, where you're playing this mix up earnestly right now. Shielding here is really good. If you watch old Mango Armada VODs, I don't know why, but this was just kind of in the meta at the time, I guess, where two people are shielding on top of each other. You'll see one of them, oftentimes Armada, try and shield grab the other guy, like in the spot. And it's good. Like, this is a good option to pick, but you lose the mix up, which is fine. Like, I don't hold this against you. I don't think it was a bad decision by you, but until I would even say like this is fine, you could do this again, but like I really want to see more strict resets and less allowing this guy to sort of get his bullshit on you. Because whatever he's gonna go for now, I don't even remember what punish this is. Like this is just like I don't want to watch this guy combo. Like I think you're really good and I want you to be really good and I want to see you comboing him, right? I don't want I don't want to see him out scrapping you randomly and just getting something big on you. Um so let's try and find more examples of it, of that sort of spot where you could have played differently. Won't talk about the recovery right now, but I'm sure next time that'll be something that will be relevant, especially if you see improvement like this again. It'll definitely be something that we have to talk about. Like this is perfect. Like until you whiff that grab, like this is literally like actually perfect. Um, I actually don't super know why you banked grab here. I don't know if like maybe you know. I feel like if anything, you would see the back of his shield and like try and nair him maybe. I don't
Hmm.
know. Do you think you remember why you went for this grab off the top of your head?
Let's see. I think I just noticed that he dashed in, so I was like in the general direction to cross them up after I got behind them. But at the same time, I think it was just like too much of a read.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I feel like you really want to establish right like that sort of mix up spacing we talked about last time before you sort of go out on a limb like this.
Us there.
But that backer was great because at the other day you're resetting the spot. It would have been really insane if he somehow beat that backer. Yeah, that was just him being goaded, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Okay, this is a consistent theme. You are overcommitting at this spacing a lot. And I kind
Hmm.
of get why. Did you play Falcals before this set? Like, since we talked and you played this set, did you play Falcals on like ranked or something?
Let's see. Or I don't remember. I think he might have been the first Falco I played, but I didn't. I think it was sometime between our lesson and the actual set that I had
Okay, okay. So,
that I had to go off of.
so this is you didn't play any Falcals in between our lesson and you playing this set. Like, this is the only Falco you played.
Or I think I played a couple on unranked, not
Okay,
ranked.
you see, that's what I was looking for. If you were playing Falcos on unranked and ranked, then I know why you're doing this. Falcos online, in general,
Yeah.
non-tournament play, they laser in, sort of assuming this honor code of a mix-up where you let him laser. Like, this sounds dumb, but like, there's actually like, they will just laser at you, assuming you're just gonna let them do it. At tournaments, what they're going to do is they're going to wait and dash dance because Falco's dash dance feels pretty threatening because random down airs and stuff could just tap you and like literally kill you, and it's like it's kind of ridiculous. Um, like Falco's just really threatening out of his dash dance, kinda. What they're going to do is they're going to wait. They're going to wait for you to show your hand in some way. And what you've done here is you've committed while he's in that waiting period, and he's just going to take that to the bank. Like immediately just like he's reacting like free opening on you. And it's like I think you probably built that habit because I talked to you last time about up smashing the lasers and you were like, "Well, this is a good thing to do and like the Falcons are sometimes going to do that." But the reality
Mm,
is they don't have to, right? They don't need
yeah.
to do that. So what you're seeing here is this guy is like sort of playing very passively and waiting for you to make, basically a decision to stop him from lasering and then just killing you for it. Like a competent Falco player could get so much off this opening. This could be a soft up tilt, it could be a cross up shine. It could even be a down tilt, like down tilt, soft head back air, something they could also realistically get here. There's so many things that are threatening. And it's kind of on you a bit here to not you don't want to show your hand instantly, right? You need
Mhm.
him to declare some sort of intent. And that's why I think a really good example is only playing the game, right, when you're dashing outside that tipper dare range, because you're sort of declaring intent where you could just like dash and nair him, right? And also, we
Mhm.
saw you even earlier do that run up grab. I was like a little bit ambitious. And it's like, as much criticism as I have for that sort of option, I appreciate that you're declaring this sort of intent to kill, right?
Mhm.
So I really do think um you need to kind of internalize that idea that you cannot play the game before you've convinced him that he needs to do something. And I think right now he's not convinced, and I kind of want to show you that like how that's relevant throughout the rest of this VOD. Oh, you missed your Shadow Shield for the first time ever. Wait, how does this happen here? Oh, you
Uh,
just walked up. You just walked up. It's fine. I see. You tried to
mhm.
lay RTC with the switch. You just accidentally pivoted. That's just like a thing that happens on controller, honestly. Okay, that reset was fine. It kind of sucks that he somehow beat it, but oh, that sucks. Yeah, there's also a lot of like more advanced things I think too. We'll talk about the next time we talk about this matchup too. That like I think could literally just put you so far ahead of the field. Actually, I feel like you already have such a good baseline for getting good at this. I think. Um, it does seem like in general your platform resets aren't that good, which is I'm not sure why that is actually. This guy might just be particularly in tune with hitting people for it. He might just be specifically excelling at kind of hitting you for this. I can't really tell you how he knew you were going to drift back here, but he did, I guess, or he just got lucky. I don't know, but maybe in your games, like think about that or something like, wow, why do I keep getting tapped for this? Um,
Yeah.
decent edge guard.
I think that happens at the end of the Marth game too.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. That might. I'm more
Yeah.
experienced in that matchup, so it might help me a bit to recognize what the issue is. This is just kind of unlucky. He literally lasers the wrong way. Like, you did something crazy and he accidentally lasered you. So that's unfortunate. Not willing to talk about recovery right now. Okay, well here you actually just correctly predict that he was going to dash into you. Almost kill him for it too. Okay, we should see a spot now here where. Okay. Wow, you're so good for getting this grab. Oh my god. That was crazy. I don't know what to say. That was a great reaction from you. Actually super high level to hit. A lot of the time when people go for a reaction like that and watching VODs with them, it's like you do not know how to react. Don't do that. But you did such a good job there. Um, oh. Yeah, this is just an over scrap from you. Going for that nair. I get why though, because you're getting a lot of these shines out of shields, right? And you're not sure how to you're not punish off them isn't super clean yet. So it's like fine. I think it's something that might just go away with time. If you use R-Wing at all, I think R-Winging those spots and just finding different solutions to punishing the different techs you're getting hit with could help. That was literally perfect by you. That was you just got to grab here, honestly, or like if you want to safe poke off this, you can do wave dash and down tilt too. I also make this mistake a lot of dash attacking this. It just doesn't work. It's kind of annoying. I also wish it did. I think grab or down tilt would have been better. You could even do running shine sometimes. The respawn there. Yeah, you get the edge guard. Shoot, I'm not seeing the spots that I really want to talk about for some reason. I think it's just getting later in the game. There was a good reset for you. I don't even know why I'm skipping back. Like, you played this well. You reset, you roll, perfect. You're sort of running in. Why is this happening?
Yeah, I think I went for that stationary bear out of shield like the last 3 times.
Yeah, that seems to be a consistent issue for you is like going for that sort of thing or just being in this close spot and just because US fights you play it so well there, right? Where you roll. And then here, it feels like when you're the one who sort of made it happen instead of him, you think that entitles you to like play some sort of option, but it's like you can put yourself in bad spots too, right? Like
Hmm.
good players accidentally put themselves in bad spots all the time. So don't think just because you put yourself in the spot it's necessarily good. Like you got to evaluate then again, like did I do it right? And then, maybe if this was another role, the outcome would have been better than sort of him just getting this reversal here. You're so good. This is such a good tech chase. That was a pretty good up smash too. Like you did it in that close spot where it's sort of scrappy, barely miss your punish. That was good. Okay. So the VOD's kind of over here. I don't know if this next interaction is meaningful. I don't remember it super well. You're just kind of holding center, which is good. You go for the nair to call it the passivity. I will say this nair was good, but you didn't do it deep enough. You want to like sort of run in with
Hmm.
it and like cross him up super deep. It would have caught him. And you might have been able to get something bigger. Um. So yeah. So that's. I'm gonna sum this up, and then we talk about Marth for the next half an hour. So you've
Okay.
gotten really good at basically everything we talked about last time. Even your punish has gotten better too, which I don't know if that's from you practicing or like whatever. It just happened to be better on this game. Um, but your punish got better too. The thing is that it still feels like there's this layer of randomness where in these scraps you're doing just like a lot of like you're doing like that shield grab, you're doing that back air, you did that fair out of shield, and 50% of the time you're rolling away and it's good. But or like, I guess I didn't really see full hop reset that much either, not when he was close at least. I just think that maybe there are some spots right now that you are putting yourself in, like you're doing this, like you're putting yourself there. And instead of sort of having this express idea of getting out, because like you put yourself in a bad spot, you think as you being the one who decided the position entitles you to sort of be the one who, like you are like the one who now is going to like be on the aggressive side of the mix up. When in
Hmm.
reality, we want to take away these spots that have any sort of randomness to them and only play the spots that, basically revolve around, like the nair, the up smash, and the grab, so that you can get really comfortable at using those to get like these large openings and sort of win out the game. Um, and I really do think this is sort of There's a lot more we could talk about. Like there's a lot of specifics and stuff. And I think what we should do is like we'll look at Marth, and then if you want to keep doing lessons, we'll look at another matchup next time, and then we'll come back for this
Mm.
one, and we'll do a whole lesson talking about all the specifics of like how can you improve your recovery, what punishes are you dropping, how should you be edge guarding. But for right
Okay.
now, I think just there are more of these spots that like you should be resetting out of, and I want to give a special shout out to the idea of doing more wave dash away from him out of shield when you're sort of close but not too close in shield. Finding more spots where you could full hop to the platforms, and also, well, I think you said this will be relevant in the next VOD too. Maybe finding more like better ways to reset some of the plats that get you caught less. It might end up just being you're not holding shields more, or like because a lot of the time like you got backers like a couple times for double jumping on the plats. Maybe if you just landed with shields, he wouldn't have been able to get those things. But you know, I think that you are looking really good in this. I think sure it's possible you would have lost the set if he played better, but I think overall you're on a really good track on this. So let's try and put you on a similar
Hmm.
track against Marth now.
Avoid the randomness.
Yeah,
Play more of the. And then let's see. I think there was this thing that you said about let's see, declaring intent and not showing my hand, but
yeah,
waiting for them to do stuff more too.
yeah. This is something that you're only gonna learn honestly with playing tricks. People don't super do it in friendlies. You like abuse it in friendlies, and maybe that'll help your recognition a bit. But when you're both like in this true neutral intermediate sort of position, you are gonna have to
Hmm.
wait longer in terms. You can't just up smash. You gotta dash dance. And like literally, like I was ranked last year as a player in 2024, and I don't dash dance with Fox. So it's like it's really hard to learn. It takes like a lot of work. Um, you need to just like hold your ground and sort of like randomly mix in like aggressive nairs. Running Shine 2 is something against Falco that honestly is good, but I was kind of worried to introduce last time because it's something that if you're not good at doing, he can sort of randomly blow you up for. Because you play unranked Falcos really mashing in place. Running Shine's kind of bad against those
Hmm.
guys, but then if you play against like I remember when I played as Magi last time, it felt really good to running shine her. It felt like really consistent. Um, but against these other players, it's like, it might not be as good. But I do think if there was something sort of new that I wanted you to try, other than the three things I mentioned before, where it's like implementing more wave dash out of shield and like jumping on the working on your platform movement on your resets. There was another thing, but I don't quite remember what it was. A new thing I think that you could consider implementing is sort of calling out his passivity. And what that's going to come down to is basically you start playing games a little bit slower with that dash dance, right? So you hold the dash dance on the ground, and then, right, if he taps you with the laser and you get the spacing you want, you still play the mix up like we talked about last time. But now you implement on top of holding that spacing, if he's just dashing, you're randomly going to start running shining, you're randomly going to start crossing up drill, you're randomly going to start. I'm hesitant to say up smash, but honestly, if you get good at punishing off the up smash, it could literally be like a life changing option for you. Is like getting good at also hitting that up smash on calling them basically, being AFK, just dash dancing in place. And I think if all
Hmm.
those things come together, like once we stack on top of working on some of your recoveries, working on some of your edge guards, you will just be like, I don't know, like I feel like you definitely won't have much to learn from me about the matchup, I think, after talking about those things, I think. So I think this is
I
really
see.
good progress on the matchup from last. I think you perfectly implemented all of the things I talked about with you. Um and yeah, I'm sorry that took 36 minutes to talk about, but
That's fine.
let's get into Marth now, and I'm gonna ask the question I always ask. You're sitting down to play a Marth set. What is going through your mind?
Uh, let's see. I think toward the end, I think I kind of just run in, but I think I tried to think about. uh, Let's see. I don't think it was in my head at the moment. I think I was just like aggressed. I aggressed and kind of got rewarded for it, but toward the end it kind of messed me up.
Okay, okay, that's
We started on Yoshi's, so like in the scrap, I think I was able to. I think he whiffed something, so I was able to get him for it, like when he swings.
okay, okay, that's good info. So let's see how that plays out then. Um, I will say I'll start with this just going into it. What I think about when I sit down to play Marth is I have this extremely specific game plan where I think that each character sort of describes, or what's it called? I'm sorry, I said describes, declares that one side of the stage is theirs, and you sort of each are kind of poking your head out of your side of the stage to like set up your favorable position. And your favorable position as the Fox player is to be right next to him. And what
Hmm.
you want to do is you want to sort of use this space, you kind of own this space to like you're like dash dancing and like you're moving in. You want to make him like whiff a fair or something or like a down tilt and you're sort of moving in on him. And it's not to get an opening, it's just to get close. And once you just get close to him, you sort of create like this infinite world of like I mash this button, you hold it. I mash this button, you hold it. I mash this button, you hold it. And like it is just this endless cycle of misery for the Marth where like it's kind of like the Marth needs you to play this hard mix up where like you either aerial or you dash in or you dash back and whoever wins gets the punish except Marth punishes much better than yours. So he loves that game and he's trying to play it the whole time. But as Fox, you're sort of faking it. You're like, oh, I'm going to play. And then you run back and he plays and then you run back in and now you're next to him and now he can't play anymore because he's so bad when Fox is close to him. And that is the mentality that I approach the matchup with. Um, so I just kind of want to like keep that idea in mind that like you're sort of poking your head out to get him to swing and then getting close to him in mind when we're looking at these games.
Hmm.
Okay, well, apparently you are the GOAT because that was pretty perfect. Okay, that was less perfect, which is good. Okay, so in general, this is the general thing I was supposed to say. If you're not staying mobile against Marth, and honestly, Cheek too, these are two characters with ideas ultra important. If you're not staying mobile and dashing and like not jump, I don't want to say jumping around because obviously he can kill you for just jumping around, but like mainly dashing, it's really bad against Marth because any dash he does that doesn't get clipped by the hitbox is basically setting up a free reaction point for him to just reversal you. Um, and in this spot with this up tilt, it wouldn't necessarily be a grab, but something that a higher level Marth player would probably do. And I think Umarth is just like sort of trying to get a feel right now, and it's something that I bet we might even see later because Umarth is very very good, obviously. Is what they'll do is they will react to that spot dodge with a nair deep into you, and it's pretty decent on shield. It's not great, and it's like you want to do it in a way preferably that you're not in Fox's shine range because then you just grab him for trying to reversal shine you at a shield. Um, but it's basically like by doing this option that's stationary and not very mobile, you're basically giving him a free reaction to take advantage on you, and we really need to avoid that. But you don't get hit. You get this insane running shine that is actually just unbelievable. It seems like you also know how to punish Mark from ledge too, so oh, then USD is zero. It happens, it happens. Definitely just work on your tech skill sort of thing. Okay. Now this is the other unfortunate reality of this matchup. When this matchup is weird when talking about cornered Marth because you know how I mentioned you want to be close to him? That never
Yeah.
changes. But once you're in the corner with him, it actually removes one of your biggest advantages against him, unless you're super cracked. And honestly, I feel like nobody's even this good yet, honestly, where you cannot cross him up anymore. So instead of taking your ground here by sort of like, because like you don't get anything on the refresh, right? Instead of just backing up and sort of just lasering him for his passivity here, it's sort of again, fishing to get close to him because that's your end goal. By sort of trying to play this mix up that you're close to him when he's in the corner, again with an up smash, it's just too stationary. It's like, sure, you've kind of declared that you're close to him, but because he knows, like, do you know why he shields here? It's because he knows you can't cross him up anymore. So he's so down to shields because there's simply nothing he's afraid of. Like, a grab? Sure, you might grab him, but he's at 83, you know. I don't even know if a single hit kills Martha. What's going to be like 89 might kill, but then that puts the the pressure on you to single hit the up air and like all of these other things, right? Like there's so many reasons why he would shield here, and I think that for right now you want to sort of avoid all of that, and you just want to move back, and just like get
Mm.
back to that sort of range. The range that fiction describes, the way that fiction describes his understanding of like that sort of outside range I was mentioning to you earlier, where like you're each on one side of the stage. He says that it's like each platform, like each like left and right platform is a house, and you two are both like sort of poking your head out the door, and like you're both like these kids that are trying to get the other one to come play in their house. And it's like you want Marth to come play in your house, and he wants you to come play in his. And like you need to be like, this is Mark's house right now, right? You need him to come
Mm-hmm.
over to yours, and you're not even in your house right now. You're just like in his front door, and like you're not even in his front door. You're inside the building right now, and it's like, oh my god, it's like of course he's gonna try and get something on you for that, and like he kind of goes for a not great grab and SD, two SDs to start the set. Happens. Good reset from you. Um, that was crazy. Unfortunate punish. Okay. And again, we're going to see this theme here of you. That running shine was perfect. Like, that was great. I don't think the drill was that good, but like, I'm not going to criticize for you for it. There's like a chance it could have worked. But this back air, and like, sure, you're going to see good players do this all the time from a shield program or whatever. Doesn't, whatever, it can be good. But from you, what I want to see is I want to see you moving to the other side of the stage. And again, taking control of that area, that I just described as like your house, and sort of baiting him to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because instead we get this sort of scrappy spot. It's like, sure, you win, but like, there's no punish or anything. Like, you're shining him to the ledge, right? There's not really any sense of like you massively like showcasing any coherent gameplay, like outplaying him or anything. Um, wow, okay, it's another SD to start the set, but let's see. Okay, yeah, this is why you remember how earlier I said you want to be mobile, and I was hesitant to say full hop as an option. So this full hop here, I actually think is fine in the sense that you shielded outside his range, right? And instead of wanting to play outside a shield, which is like very difficult to do against Marth, you want to reset the
Mm-hmm.
spot. But the reality is, Marth is when resetting, you got to go to top lat and make your way down slowly. Because if you don't, no Falco's not hitting you for this. But Marth is like, oh my god. It's literally like he mashed up tilt and he caught you, right? So it's very
Mm-hmm.
silly. Um, okay. Okay. If you use the platforms to get down, yeah, I think this might be. I think this is a time where we need to more so look at somebody else's gameplay because I think you're just playing it. It's funny because you're doing a couple things well, and then the things you're doing wrong, you're just doing so wrong. Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the last, there's like 13 minutes left. I don't know why my PC clock is wrong. There's like 12 minutes left. What I want to do is I want to look at. This is like the set that people have just seen the most, and like I've also seen the most. So it's like really easy to just like show this game plan against Marth. It's a really good example set, I think. you need to work your way in, right? So you have these two platforms, and we'll just forget about FD for right now. FD's a tiny bit different, but just pretend they're platforms on FD basically. And you want to bait him to come over under your platform. And single laser is the main option we're going to see Mango use to do that. And then like the other thing is we want to use our movement, our dash dance to get him to swing early and then move in on him. And then once we move in on him, we sort of just want to cross him up or like grab him or something. Like I like short hop up air too. It's like a player preference thing that I do a lot of. I short hop up air him once I get close to him. What you never want to do ever in this matchup, and this is a quote I have from Fiction, actually, I have it on my second monitor right now in my notes, is you never want to break in his front door. If you do that,
Mm-hmm.
he will just blow you. I don't know what else to say. And you were kind of constantly doing that on the Yoshi's platform. Well, or under the Yoshi's platform, where like he's on ledge and you're like, oh, I'm like in your house now, and I'm gonna like mess you up for like being on ledge. And it's like, sure, if you were Cody Schwab, that's really good because Marth is very good off ledge. But like when thinking about like how to get proficient at the matchup, that's not a focus I want you to have. I don't really think it would do you that much good. Like, sure, maybe a Marth will got a ledge and you'll kill him a couple times, but like, what if they start ledge game? Like, there's all these things. Like, I want you to be good at like the basic fundamentals, basically, right, of the matchup. And what that looks like in this matchup is getting close to him by baiting him, and then from there playing a mix up to how do I say it? Playing a mix up sort of to like convert off getting in that spot because he's so bad when you're close to him. Like I've played so much Marth the past year, I can't tell you how bad he is in those spots. Like he's horrible, horrible. Um, there are some general rules I want to give you before we look at this of what to do once you get into that close spacing. Um, and the first one is always cross up your aerials. The second one is to shine up, to shine grab or shine upper into the corner. And the third one is to well, this isn't super relevant. I'm gonna say this is outside that scope, honestly. It's to stay mobile. So like when you're doing these things where you're like crossing up and like shine grabbing and stuff, you gotta like keep it moving. Like you can't stop. Like Marth catches you because like Marth has gigantic hitboxes, right? So Marth wins when the war's hitbox to hitbox. He doesn't win when it's movement versus movement. Um, so if you stop and stay in place, right? The option that comes to mind is Fox back air for me or up tilt. Those are two like very non-mobile options. Does Marth even have a move that doesn't beat those? It's like grab, but it kind of still does, right? Like it still kind of does beat those moves.
Mm-hmm.
So we really got to stay mobile here. And what we're going to see in this set watching Mango is that he is very mobile. And he sort of doesn't like fall prey to Marth's like something you're commonly going to see as you start to implement this game plan is Marths are going to start doing late fair to bait you to whiff punish them. Not bait you to take space on them, but bait you to like throw out a drill to whiff punish the fair. But you don't want to be doing that because it's not a true whiff punish. Something that fiction literally says is that you have to accept that it's hard, if not impossible, to punish Marth. Like true whiff punish is what he means. So what your goal is to simply get close. And once you get close, you sort of want to bully him. And the way you do that is by holding your side of the stage, he holds his, and you sort of are poking your head out the front door like, oh, what if I came in? What if I came in? What if I came in? And then he does something to try and get you to come in, or like really to just hit you even for like attempting to come in, and then you just get close to him, and then you kind of just start fucking him up. And you can see Mango in this VOD, like he does that super duper well. Um, these first things are just like stupid Mango openers that kind of don't matter that much. Let's try and find like a real sort of like neutral spot here. Okay, so we already have kind of an example of this here. Off this, there's sort of like a declaration here a bit where like this is like a weird thing that I don't understand at all, but it's like it feels like in Melee when you wake up, people assume it as if you're going to instantly nair in at them when you wake up, or like not even instantly nair in so much as like instantly do something aggressive almost. And then like once you get to the higher levels, you get to the spot where they instantly assume you're going to back up instead because people are so used to the instant aggression that you mix it up by backing it up and sort of try flipping it back on them. And Zane knows that. And Mango knows Zane knows that. So Zane does the dash attack to catch it, and Mango goes extra far back here. He doesn't stop. Like, he does a wave dash back in here. Do you see how crazy that is? Like, he's dashing all the way out and then wave dash back in. It's not a dash dance. Because, like, he's that convinced that Zane is going to, like, try and catch that sort of movement back. Um, and, like, this is a bait in the sense that, like, let me try and figure this out. This is, like, the bait kind of is that Mango woke up here and Zane's expecting, this movement back or like the instant aggression, and Mango's using that to
Mm-hmm.
sort of punish him coming in. Now, this is a rare example where I need you to understand he is not doing this grab as a true whiff punish. He knows he was late, I assume, at least I hope he does, and he's doing it to beat the shield specifically. And it does. And again, see, like, Zane's coming into his territory. And here, I think that was kind of just a bad nair for Mango, honestly, so I don't even have anything to say about it. See, he's like sort of holding his space well, and then he randomly gets poked because he's being really cheeky, which I don't want you to be doing, to be clear. I think that's a bad idea to be super cheeky against Marth. Um, but see, he's holding his space, Zane pokes in, but he lives. He has good defense and he lives. And he gets that ledge dash reversal. Darn, I really wish that he was doing more things that I would like you to do exactly, but he is kind of not. Um, See, we're playing in Zay's territory, so obviously he gets hit. He's just trying to move in and get close. Zane gets reversaled and dies, I assume. Um, Darn, I might have to switch VODs here. I'm not super finding good examples of what I want to show, unfortunately. Um, that was crazy. Sorry about that. Sorry, can you hear me?
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, so I do have to wrap up now because I do have one more lesson for tonight. I want to maybe just show one of my VODs, maybe. Shoot. Maybe. Okay, here we go. This is Fox Marth. This might show some of these things better. These might show some of these things better. So like I'm like sort of resetting using the plats here, and like okay, well I'm also overextending versus Mars, so that's actually my bad for trying to or struggling to show you a good example. I think of what I want your gameplay to kind of look like. Um,
Mhm.
as this is all like both Mango and Zane's sets were both super scrappy, which is really your games against Mars do want to look like that, but you sort of want them to look like that because he's trying to swing at you, and then like you're kind of like flipping it back on him, if that makes sense. But right now, there's a whole lot of me and Mango getting baited by Marth players, which is not what you want to see. Um, and here she is just swinging on me like crazy, crazy, crazy style. So it is, it is not good. Um, Shoot, let me get back to like an earlier game maybe and see. This is my bad, super my bad for not having a good example. Okay, good. This actually looks right. Finally. Okay. Somebody's playing the interaction right. So here she sort of tries and attacks into my space, and I literally just like I hold shield, I get this reversal. It's great. Um and then I'm sort of just like trying not to aggress super hard, but you see how I do and then like I die? I should have died. Like the moment I start over aggressing, we see that same sort of issue. Here's an example. So here, I sort of am like poking my head out and trying to
Mhm.
like incite some sort of aggression from her. and then I simply just like I do that, I poke, and then I move back and I get my reversal. And it's very safe. Like the gameplay is like it should be against Marth, like incredibly safe. Like he has to dash attack you, he has to F smash you to hit you. Okay. So I actually am in an insane time crunch right now, but I want to show one more thing, and I showed this in my last Morph lesson. And I think this is also a very good example of this concept. So lowercase hero here, he drops here, he holds this space, grab fairies, hold shield, and he pressures it. Like he pressures it because like Marth is so bad in these scraps that like the moment grab is fared, he sort of put himself in the Fox danger zone. But it's not like a true punish zone, right? It's more of like a we are going to be playing this sort of mix up now, and you kind of have to deal with it, Marth player. It's like kind of like the bottom line of it. Um, and you can see he kind of keeps the pressure going, keeps the pressure going, backs up, gets outplayed. This is how Marth players need to have to hit you. Is they have to hit you in this way, where like reaching across the entire screen and grabbing the entire like everything. Like look at this. Henry's like here, he like did something in place and then he moved back. He still gets caught, even though he did a
Mhm.
laser, which is literally it's a 4 frame landing lag, right? Let's try and find one more example to hopefully really hammer this home. Um, so see, he backs up. Like he's not trying to scrap with this guy. It's just not
Mhm.
worth it. Like he backs up, grab rolled, right? Which already, again, by rolling, Marth is putting himself in that position where it is super duper disadvantageous for him to do any mix. Like any mix up at all is like so bad. Like he just has to get out, and Henry sort of abuses that here by just to be clear, he abuses it by just like I think what does he do? He just like runs up, grab it. See, just run up and grab. What is Marth gonna do for to you for doing this grab on the back of the shield? He only has down air out of shield, which if you have good defense is like a non-issue, unless they're like perfect. But I've never been down out of shield dash attacked by somebody, so usually if you ASDI don't tech it, like you'll be fine. Does this sort of make sense to you? Kind of the general concept.
Yeah, so getting into their space, uh, and then making them play a mix-up where, and then being in the space where I'm right behind them is good for me because they can't do anything to me. And then let's see, I think the general macro concept of getting into their house but not like overcommitting.
Yep. That is exactly it. I'm gonna send you my personal notes that I use when I play tournaments as this matchup. Um,
Okay.
and I'm sorry that this wasn't I feel like as comprehensive as like as last times. I feel like, but I think that seeing I feel like I already saw you kind of maybe subconsciously apply some of the concepts we talked about last time to this set with Umarth. So I do think that
Hmm.
maybe just this sort of like us reiterating maybe it a bit because like, it's still the same thing, right? Where you're sort of like resetting, you have the spot you want, right? Um, I think that it's still kind of what you're doing against Falco too, right? You kind of want to avoid these all these
Yeah.
spots that you're not as confident in. It's just that against the Marth, it's a little bit less set in stone and more free form where like literally like Lurky's hero is just doing like laser grab and it's like working because Marth is so limited in these disadvantaged situations. Um yeah, I do have to wrap it up there though, unfortunately. Do you have any questions or anything else that you would want to like quickly talk about?
Okay, so like say that we're in each other's houses.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Or let's see, comes into the middle house. Let's see. Are there like what kind of moves can I like what kind of moves does Marth do where I can like dash behind him, like dash past him?
Okay, so the area you're talking about, from my understanding, is right. Is like let me see if I can find it here in the VOD just really quick. Is like this sort of spot, right? Where like he
Yeah.
sort of landed here and now he's just dashing back before
Mm-hmm.
you can get in on him. So
Yeah.
he has put himself here in a predicament actually, and I think it could be hard to see because lowercase here did this pretty. there's down here that like I get why he did it. He did it kind of before, and I glazed him for it. But here, it feels a little, I guess, no brain to just do it again, and I think Grab adapted to it.
Hmm.
What you can do now after he's done this fair is you should be dashing in a way where because he's fared, you just reactively dash forward and running shine him or running drill because like the reason for that is because he's locked him down in so much lag by doing this fair that a true mix-up begins to occur. And this mix-up's not good for Marth, actually. He only can either shield, roll, dash in, or dash back. He has no other options except hold CC, so fine, we'll add hold CC. He has those 5 options. And all of those options require super high execution. Like, for example, CC, like, if you wanted to convert on a Fox running shining off your CC, it's so difficult with Marth, and I don't even think it's true. I don't even know. When it comes to shield, like I rarely get good out of shield stuff as Marth. It happens occasionally, but like it's so difficult. When it comes to dash, sure, Marth dash is great, but when it comes down to it, Fox doing a dash aerial if you dash under him is so hard to come back in and whiff punish. Like really, once he puts him in this spot, himself in this spot, it puts the onus on him sorta to like deal with your aggression. Does that make sense?
Okay. Onus is time to aggress. So if I'm in the corner, then it's just a matter of making my way back in and like mixing him up,
Yeah, it is exactly. It's like slowly
resetting,
working your
and
way
then
in.
I'll see. Okay. All right, I'll think on that. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, obviously you can DM me. We can also, well, I'm sorry this one was not as like, comprehensive, but if you have any questions or anything, you can just message me and I will clear them up and hopefully we'll get another lesson in soon.
Sounds good. All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, see you later.